Have you ever noticed that some of the smartest people you know are still struggling financially? Not because they're lazy or irresponsible. Talking about smart people with degrees, good careers, people who can solve complicated problems all day long. Maybe that's you. Maybe you read the books, listened to the podcast, watched the YouTube videos. Maybe you know more about money today than you did 5 years ago. But when you look at your savings account, your investments, your debt, or your overall financial progress, you still find yourself wondering, if I know so much, why aren't I having better results? Over the years, I've discovered there isn't just one reason smart people stay broke. There are several. And the crazy part is that most of them sound like advantages. But today, I want to walk you through the 5 biggest reasons I've seen. And I want you to pay a close attention to reason number 3, because when I finally understood that one, it completely changed how I thought about money. I mean, seriously, if you only remember one thing about this entire video, make sure it's reason number 3. That lesson cost me years of wealth building and eventually contributed to me losing a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio. Here's the crazy part. At the time, I thought I was doing exactly what successful people were supposed to do. Most of us were taught if you work hard, get good grades, earn a degree, you will make good money and wealth will follow. Fortunately, many of us have learned the hard way that this just isn't true. It's actually quite possibly one of the biggest financial lies we've ever been told, which is why reason number 1 is believing that being smart and doing well in school would lead to building wealth. And they are not the same thing. They're not connected that way. In fact, one of the most dangerous assumptions smart people make is believing that making more money will make you better with money. It just doesn't. And the proof is all around us. As of May 2026, 46 to 48% of Americans earning over $100,000 annually report living paycheck to paycheck. For those that make between $50,000 and $100,000, that number is 60 to 65%. People with master's degrees just drowning in debt. People who can explain compound interest but haven't invested a dollar yet. People who know exactly what they should be doing financially but still aren't doing it. And that's when I realized something else that changed the way I think about money forever. Reason number 2, wealth is not an intelligence game. It's a behavior game. For a long time, I thought smart people naturally became wealthy. And to me, it seemed logical, right? Like if you're smart, you make better decisions, except that's not what we see. That wasn't my experience. One day I remember thinking, I am far too smart to be this broke. And I learned the financial lesson from my best friend's dad when I was 16 years old. But unfortunately, I still had to learn this lesson the hard way. Dr. Jackson was wealthy, and one night he told me, it's never how much you make, it's how much you spend. I was reminded of this lesson right out of college when I got my first job. And let me explain. In 1997, when I graduated from a $25,000 a year private college, I would have never guessed how little money I would actually make. I literally made $1,600 per month. Now, let's be honest, even back in 1997, $1,600 per month wasn't exactly good money. But you won't believe what happened and how I actually felt. I felt rich, not wealthy or financially independent, but in my mind, I was balling. And you're probably wondering, how in the world was that possible? It's because my expenses were almost non existent. While the salary wasn't anything to brag about, especially compared to some of my friends, but my housing was covered by the college. They covered my utilities, my cable, and they even gave me a 3 meal per day meal plan. I would have never guessed how wonderful my financial life was at that time. And it really was. I had almost zero financial pressure or stress. And frankly, I was blowing money. And looking back, I can't believe how reckless I really was with my money. As Dr. Jackson had taught me 5 or 6 years prior to that, it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you spend. And he was absolutely right. I wasn't making much money, but I also wasn't spending much money. And because of that, I felt really financially comfortable. Fast forward 3 years, and I landed a new position as the director of residence life. And my income literally almost tripled. And like most people would have, I assumed my financial life was about to really take off, which leads me to the next reason why smart people stay broke. Most of us have been taught to believe that more money solves money problems. I know, I can't be the only one that believed that. Well, somewhere along the way, I had traded in my paid off Mitsubishi Mirage and upgraded to a Mitsubishi Diamante when I got the promotion. Now, don't judge me because in my mind, I was doing big things. I was now a director. I had arrived, and at least that's what I thought. And then the reality showed up every month, and that car payment was about $550. And so for the first time, I was paying rent, utilities, cable, internet, food, and all the other expenses that had been previously been covered were now wreaking havoc on my bank account, not to mention that car. I remember thinking, how in the world am I broke now? Now that I'm making way more money, I just couldn't figure it out. And in very real ways, I actually felt broker, and that confused me, which leads me to the big one. Reason number 3 why smart people stay broke: lifestyle creep. Now, before you click off because that sounds too simple, like I said before, this one mistake cost me years of wealth building and helped destroy a multi-million dollar portfolio. What looked like an income problem was really because I quietly upgraded my life all the time along the way. The really nice apartment with the swimming pool and fitness center and all the other amenities I literally never used. What I learned is the next lesson I want to share. More money can't create financial freedom if you use it to shackle yourself to liabilities, like a new car or an upgraded apartment. So let me say that again. More money cannot create financial freedom if you use it to shackle yourself to liabilities. More money didn't make me free. It simply gave me more rope to financially tie myself down. That leads to another reason why smart people stay broke. It's because there's no amount of money that can solve a spending problem. This might be one of the most important lessons I learned. And let me say that again. There is no amount of money that can solve a spending problem. Because if your spending rises every time your income increases, you're just tightening the rope that's holding you down. Too often people do exactly what I did. More money means more expenses, and you just can't build wealth that way. No wonder why I was so stressed. No wonder why 40+% of Americans making over $100,000 live paycheck to paycheck. Living in that apartment is when things finally clicked for me. And I decided to embody the words of Dr. Jackson. It's not how much you make, it's how much you spend. Because I started realizing something that would take me years to fully understand. Reason number 5, wealth has very little to do with being smart. And it's really about being able to consistently do what it is required to build wealth. And that gap is what I call the implementation gap. Think about it. Plenty of smart people know they should save. They don't. Plenty of smart people know they should invest. They don't. Plenty of smart people know that they should avoid lifestyle creep. They still creep. The problem isn't knowing, the problem is doing. The real wealth gap isn't money. It's the gap between knowing what to do and being able to do it consistently. And the larger that gap, the poorer you will be. You might have lots of things: cars, toys, gadgets, brand name clothes, all that stuff. But financial success isn't determined by what you know. It's really determined by what you're able to do consistently over time, repeatedly. And so let me share some research that will make you sit back in your chair because it's actually really fascinating. Research consistently shows that intelligence tends to predict income far better than it does predict wealth. Think about that. Higher intelligence often helps people earn more money, but it doesn't automatically help them save it, invest it, or build it. And that's why the 40+% of people making over $100,000 still live paycheck to paycheck. As I said earlier, it's because wealth isn't simply an information game, it's a behavioral game. The trap is believing that knowing leads to doing. But real life doesn't work that way because between knowing and doing, something else happens. Life happens. And that's what I call the rapids. And it's filled with emotions like fear and stress, and bad habits emerge, and human nature happens. The issue for us isn't information. The issue is, how do we move across the implementation gap so that you can start consistently doing what is required? Most financial education leads you to believe that you need more financial information or the latest budgeting app or whatever. But those things don't automatically allow you to start doing what you know needs to be done. So as we start to kind of land the plane on this topic, the question you're probably asking yourself is either, how can I be smart and be rich? Or asking yourself, can I be dumb and be rich? And I guess that's the main point that I'm trying to get to in this video. Getting rich or building wealth has almost nothing to do with how smart you are. It's about something simpler and deeper at the same time. When I got rich the first time, I asked all the wrong questions. Questions like, what investments should I buy? And this time around, I started to ask myself much better questions like, how do I become the type of person who consistently makes good financial decisions? And ultimately, that's what changed my financial life the second time. I stopped chasing answers and started paying attention to patterns, my patterns. I stopped focusing exclusively on income. I didn't focus on budgets. I started focusing on my behavior. I stopped assuming intelligence would save me and started building systems that would support me and the behaviors that matter when it comes to building wealth. One of the biggest reasons why people aren't wealthy is because far too often they are trying to solve a behavioral problem with information solutions. And if you've been feeling stuck financially, let me help you take the first step because this is exactly why I created your financial blueprint. It's a PDF and it's designed to help you see where you are, where you're trying to go, and what needs your attention first. You can download a free copy using the link in the description because you don't need more information. You need the clarity that leads to the transformation. And that transformation is what allows you to do the things you know you need to do, but somehow you don't consistently do them. And if you're ready to go deeper, I also want to invite you to check out my multi-award winning book, The Beginner's Guide to Growing Wealth and Investing. The book isn't just about investing. It's about becoming the type of person who can consistently save, invest, and build wealth over time. Because one of the lessons I've learned the hard way is that seeds of wealth only grow in fertile soil. The investments are the seeds, but you are the soil. And the quality of your financial life will ultimately be determined by what you're able to grow. In the next video, we're going to talk about the lesson that completely changed my financial life after this realization. Because once I discovered that information wasn't enough, I had a new question. If information and knowledge doesn't create freedom, what does? And that's where systems enter the picture because systems actually create freedom. But in the meantime, in the comments section, I want to hear from you. Which of the reasons can you relate to the most? Which one do you need to stop believing? Or you can just put an A plus in the comments if you learned anything, if you want to show me any love, or if you just want everyone to know that you always stack smarter and never stop learning.